All right. Um, all right. Welcome, warriors, to day 8 of the Daily Ritual Warrior Challenge. Okay. So I know I've been speaking a lot about consistency and staying on course, and, you know, it's the tortoise that ultimately wins the race, and which is definitely true. The tortoise definitely wins the race. Um, Another great life lesson is also, and I alluded to it the day before, it's you are your most best investment. So when you know yourself and know what works for you, when you navigate the world now, you can utilize these very simple tactics to apply into real world experiences. So, for instance, we all know who Warren Buffett is, and many people speak about him, and many people look up to his advice and what it is that he does with the market. And if you truly are a student of, not even of Warren Buffett, but of learning from other people's experience and understanding that it's okay to go slow. Warren Buffett is one of many people that shares that it's the long term that you should definitely be gearing towards instead of short term gains. And again, that all coincides with the tortoise and the hare. Look at, let Warren Buffett represent to you the hare. No, the tortoise. I stand corrected. The tortoise. Warren Buffett definitely, in my mind, represents the tortoise. And the hare, let's see, who is someone fast that we see in the media? I don't know. I don't know. Um, I haven't really thought about it, but let's say it's um I'll just say like someone that's an athlete. So um let's say someone that runs, who's someone that runs track, like someone, like let's say a track star that's just trying to, so let's say this track star is always about, it's like the tortoise and hare. So he's the hare, so it's the track star, but it's like, imagine putting like a track star in a setting of stock market and utilizing stocks and bonds and the put options and all these things into play, and against Warren Buffett. Of course, it'll seem like it's going to be, well, you'll definitely side with Warren Buffett because he's the one that has the longevity, right? But it seems sometimes people like the instant gratification. That's not really a great analogy, but the point is, some people, they just want the fast, let's go hot, and let's just go, go, go. So, um, so think of your ritual like a a long term investment. So with each day, you're building towards a bigger event. And as long as you're utilize understanding that going slow and steady, and that creates the momentum. So just like with Warren Buffett, it's, for instance, he speaks about how he brought shares of Coca-Cola, I believe, for pennies on a dollar. And he left it when everybody was panicking in the market and everybody that was like, oh, it's tanking. And he didn't care that he lost because he saw a bigger picture. He realized and knows that maybe he had inside information, there's a possibility. But regardless of his inside information, he still could have panicked like the rest of the people in the world and said, you know what, I don't believe you. What if it does tank and I never recoup my money? He still stuck it out. He still left his shares in that market, regardless of it tanking, because he believes so fiercely in it that it will yield him. And I think that was like in the 70s. And fast forward to I think what, 2010. All right, so I just decided to show a little bit of what I was talking about the market crash in the 70s and how it all is related with what happened with Coca-Cola and their market share and stuff like this. But before we move forward, I want to say this is for educational purposes. I'm not giving financial advice. So I'm just sharing some insights based on what happened and how this could be utilized in our lives as well. So, speaking about the market crash, I found this on Wikipedia of the market crash that happened back in 1973 to 1974, just about, and how that impacted the global market. So, um, this was something that disrupted the market in different sectors, and Coca-Cola was one of those sectors that was definitely hit, and it impacted their stock value, and it was very affordable at the time, and I'm going to share that very soon after this. But if you want to read more about the history of the financial uh, crash of 19 in the 1970s, you could go to Wikipedia. Is a great place to start, but it's not just the only place to go and find out about this, but it is definitely somewhere to start, to do some research, to get a little insight if you were not aware about a market crash in this time period. Um, but this is just one example of what I was talking about as far as like the crash and how this impacted the market as a whole. So this is just also a showing of what investors that utilize crashes as a way to really buy more stock in potential companies that will one day also make more or make up for what happened and really come back from that from the bear market. So here's Coca-Cola in 1974. I believe I'm sharing right here is 1974. The stock value was like, it was less than $1, so it was like a 73 cent. I mean 50 cent, 53 to 54 cent at the time. This time in 1974, this was like what, December, and then I'm going to show also. Here we go. This is December of 2010. So from 53 cent in 1974 to $32.72. Like, that's a huge leap. So imagine Warren Buffett sticking it out and him making money after that whole crash. You know, this is just to show and share that it's possible to recoup and make money if you just wait. and not just go with the fear based people that are crying wolf and crying about the market crashing, because markets go up and down. And when you understand that, you'll understand that it's okay for it to crash, and people will make the most money out of these crashes because they understand that everything's going to be cheap, and most people are going to be very fearful. And this is how Warren Buffett and many others are able to profit. Those are not the only way he makes his money, but this is definitely one way he does make his money is off of market crashes. They pray for market crashes, I believe, in my opinion. I'm not saying exactly that that's what he wants, but you know, it definitely helps him become more of a wealthier person when those markets crash. All right, so I just wanted to also share a quote by Warren Buffett about the market. And I just, even though this is not a challenge that's about money or the stock market, but we can still draw upon the wisdom no matter where it comes from or what industry it may come from. So here is the quote: anything can happen anytime in markets, and no advisor, economist, or TV commentator, and definitely not Charlie nor I, can tell you when chaos will occur. Market forecasters will fill your ear, but never fill your wallet. And this could definitely be used in any capacity, not just the market, not just the stock market. This could also be said about when it comes to dealing with situations in our life. So, as warriors, we should always draw upon the wisdom from anything so we could learn how to adapt it into our own lives and utilize it for our own practical purposes so we could practice this in our everyday day-to-day life. Right. So the point I was making was to utilize your rituals more as if it's a long-term investment like Warren Buffett. And consistency will always win, no matter how fast you think you should go. It doesn't matter how fast you go, because if you can't even see how it's going to go or how you're doing along the way, it'll just speed by, and then you won't even learn what it is there's to learn about had you been more slower and more patient with yourself with performing your ritual. So, um, that is about it. Uh, a great tip I would definitely suggest: study Warren Buffett when it comes to learning about long term investments. Listen to some of his lectures. He speaks a lot about different things, and he's very informative. He's been doing this for some time, so that's a great place to look into and learn about. Not, yeah, he talks about the stock market, but that could still be applied to any aspect of our lives as long as we are being slow and consistent, because you start to align yourself, because once opportunities start to come your way, now you could definitely pick certain opportunities had you once they start coming your way, and you won't freeze, because you know how to take in the information, analyze it, and move forward based off of what you know could be your strengths and or your weaknesses, instead of just like spitfiring as if like the again like the tortoise and the hare. So I hope this helps, and I will speak to you all on day 9 of the challenge. Take care. Bye.